Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about the writer's strike again. We're going to talk about how Hollywood writers are being stepped over by yet another talk show. Bill Maher is going to continue doing his show, and he put out a statement. And of course, he got called a scab, just like Drew Barrymore and everybody else who dares to keep their people working during the strike. So we're going to talk about that. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. If you do, you'll get a woohoo. Not many woohoos in the Hollywood writers' rooms these days, the empty writers' rooms. But Bill Maher put this statement out about his show. And, of course, there's lots of salt on social media.
You know, here's the thing. Like, it wouldn't have got to this far. It got this far. They were all supportive of it, I think, until they basically turned down that deal that was pretty much everything they wanted, except for like one little thing. And then everybody's like, no. You see, you don't want to negotiate. That was a good deal. You're just being dumb. Yeah,
and that actually did sour a lot of people on them. There were some showrunners in Hollywood, and we did a video on this. They were going to talk to the WGA last week. They were furious with them. And some of them actually threatened to leave the union. Apparently, people are hanging up on each other and they're screaming all kinds of stuff. Now they're talking they might meet with them tomorrow again. But they were pretty angry because they're like, yeah, that last deal, that was really good. The only thing you did not get, was the writer's room, the mandated number of writers. Because, yeah, some people are going to be unemployed. But that is like every other job.
Yep.
Everywhere. There's only enough room for so many people, and you can't pay 20 people $11,000 to $14,000 a week on a show that doesn't make any damn money.
Right, because no one watches it.
Right. So Bill Maher put this out. Real time is coming back. Unfortunately, sans writers are right. Now, he actually is being, I thought, pretty kind in what he says. It has been 5 months, and it's time to bring people back to work. The writers have important issues that I sympathize with, and I hope they're addressed to their satisfaction.
Yeah, Keith, to their satisfaction.
Right. But they are not the only people with issues, problems, and concerns.
Yes, exactly.
Despite some assistance from me, much of the staff is struggling mightily. We were all hopeful this would come to an end after Labor Day, but that day has come and gone, and there still seems to be nothing happening. I love my writers. I am one of them. But I'm not prepared to lose an entire year and see so many below-the-line people suffer so much.
Yes.
Thank you, Bill Maher. Speaking some sense.
I think that's what everybody's doing. They're turning it back on because there's a lot of people who are getting caught up in this, and they're not even the ones striking.
I will honor the spirit of the strike by not doing a monologue, a desk piece, new rules, or editorial, the written pieces I'm so proud of on Real Time. And I'll say up front to the audience, the show I will be doing without my writers will not be as good as our normal show, full stop. But the heart of the show is an off-the-cuff panel discussion that aims to cut through the bullshit and predictable partisanship, and that will continue. The show will not disappoint. He's basically like, I get where you're coming from, but there are other people other than you that depend on the show going on.
Well, that's what's going on. I mean, I feel badly because a lot of writers. What gets me is too the Writers Guild leadership is turning stuff down, but I don't know if everybody that's even in the Writers Guild agrees because there's a lot of people like, I'm losing my house, I can't go to the vet for my cat, everything else, and there's people that aren't even involved that are they're losing things to the place that people are sending threats to the unions to settle it because they're like, I'm losing everything because you guys won't go back to work and you're given a good deal and I'm not getting paid anywhere near that.
Yeah. So this guy, Stephen Ford, the hypocritical multimillionaire chooses the out-of-touch option.
The out-of-touch option, Steve. So Stephen Ford here chooses the out-of-touch option.
Yes.
It's not just about you, Stephen. That's the kicker.
Director, common writer, Teen Wolf, actual idiot. Well,
there you go.
World Alternative Media says the majority of his staff aren't writers and they're struggling to feed their families. What's so hard for you to understand? They get nothing out of a strike win other than the ability to work at the same cost. That's it. People don't understand the below the line workers. If you're not union, basically at this point, it's rich people fighting with other rich people. And the people that get the grunt wages, I mean, they're like, poor us. We just want a living wage in LA, but $11,000 to $14,000 a week, That's just not enough to live in LA.
They have the balls to show up to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios Hollywood and go on about how the people to respect the people working at the attractions and the team members at Universal Studios, because they're fighting for fair wages too. They get $20 an hour.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nowhere near what you guys are getting in a week. It's kind of that's so asinine, disrespectful. I was just like, "Fuck you" when I saw that, because that's don't even care. Then you're saying you can't make a living wage in L.A., but those people are in the L.A. area too, and that's what they get paid.
Yeah,
you know what? They can get paid that. You get paid thousands a week, and but that's not a living wage. Like hell, it isn't. Even in L.A., like hell, it isn't.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a living wage like anywhere, right? For sure. So this guy's like, it undermines a strike. This other person.
Oh, he keeps making comments. He or she keeps making comments all the time.
Bulls kicks ass. Bull kick ass bull. Insane says, people forget these strikes aren't just affecting writers and actors. It affects lighting, craft services, production assistants, editors, grip, set dressers, post-production, and more. They are well aware writers and actors don't think twice about them. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting too. If I were below the line worker in Hollywood and I saw the amounts of money being tossed around that were turned down, I'd be like, what the hell are you doing? Like, that's more, you're making more in a week than I make in 2 months, 3 months, and you're going to turn it down because it's not enough, because we're not just gig workers. What if you're a gig worker working for these assholes who are turning the money down? You know, I'd be pissed. I'd be absolutely furious.
And then this Bulls kicks ass is obviously part of the WGA issue, because they keep making comments.
This guy, James Spiro, unpopular opinion. But if shows and employers can navigate a strike to successfully put as many people back to work as possible, it should. This decision will help put food on the table for those who aren't writers but still impacted by their decision. He said he's not going to use writers. The show probably won't be as good, but he's got other people to think about. You know, and same with Drew Barrymore. It was the same thing. She's like, I got other people to think about. I own the decision. And I mean, she's got to have other show staff coming to them. Like, I am literally going to lose my apartment. I'm going to lose my house. I can't feed my kids because we don't have writers on the show. And she's like, well, I have a talk show. I can still do it.
Well, this next person, like, so you get to decide 5 months is the limit. Gotcha. As for nothing happening, and talk about the WGA waiting for a counter because AMP misinformation campaign. Okay, even if AMP put out numbers that, that they raises rates that they weren't what they actually offered, which doesn't make sense they would do that. But okay, the base of what you're getting now was been reported in multiple places, and even at the base you're getting 8,000 or 9,000 a week.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry. Nobody for 95% of America gets that much damn money a week. I'm sorry. You want people to feel bad for you? People that are losing everything underneath you that you're complaining about. You're complaining about helping. Don't fucking make what you guys make, and you're pissed about it. I'm sorry. He's not violating. He's making sure he honors your strike, but tries to help people that are losing everything because of your strike. And all you care about is your damn selves. That just tracks, doesn't it?
Yeah, if it were me, I mean, look, I am not saying the studios are saints by any stretch of the imagination, right? I know they are not, right? They're Hollywood accounting. It's Hollywood accounting for a reason. That being said, if I were put in this decision and I had people like begging me to go back to work that weren't part of the unions, or like, what the hell are we going to do? We don't know what we're going to do. And these people don't have a lot of savings. They
because people like the writers, we had to dip into our savings. Well, for most people,
savings.
They don't have that. What the hell is savings?
Most people don't have savings. It's paycheck to paycheck, and they've been without a paycheck for 5 months.
And they don't get unemployment, but they're still working on new laws that is passing through that they'll get paid to be on unemployment, to be on strike. Well, the people speaking unemployment for your asses being on strike are the people that are below the line.
Yeah, if it were me, I'd do the same thing. I'd be like, actually, if it were me, I'll tell you, I mean, I have no qualms. If it were me and I were in the writers union at this point, I'd go FICOR. I'd be like, fuck it. It's 5 months. Like, you had me at the beginning, maybe for some of it. Right? You got 90% of what you asked for. You still turned it down. At this point, it's just ridiculous. I'm leaving. I'm quitting. I'm going to make sure my people get taken care of, and you guys can figure it out for yourselves. That would be my attitude at this point. Fix it. I'm a scab. They're calling Drew Barrymore a scab. They freaking loved her when she's kneeling before Dylan Mulvaney, and they're calling her a scab. They're getting her fired from the book awards.
I know, this is ridiculous. And they're all like, says a millionaire. Says it's not about being a millionaire. He keeps telling you it's about people that are below the line that are not able to survive because the strike keeps going on.
Absolutely no one notices as Hollywood writers' strike enters week 22. They look more and more out of touch. I mean, it was bad enough that normal people, everyday people, look at Hollywood people, writers, actors, whatever, as being out of touch elites. But right now they're like, okay, now you guys are just being absolutely ridiculous. Because the people that actually are the normies that are working on these shows are getting
all the things I agreed with them on, they're getting.
Yeah. And same here. Like if you listen to our videos, the only thing we really didn't agree with was the writer's room, that you had to mandate a certain number of people in the writer's room, because it's like, how is that financially viable? How does it even make sense? How is it creatively viable?
These people are just like ridiculous. They're just like, it's tough negotiation, but it's worth it. But you said to give up. About you. You're wealthy. You're wealthy. He keeps saying. And you guys are deliberately. I thought you were readers and writers. Apparently reading comprehension isn't your forte. He's deliberately telling you he's only doing this because he's a lot of people below the line and they cannot afford to keep going without work because it's lasting longer than it should. And you all keep making it about you. You're making it about him. By doing so, you're making it about you because you're deliberately stepping over the issue.
This person says it's the first crack I've seen in the strike. Well, no.
It's not.
No, the daytime shows. Maybe it's the first one you've seen there, Dustin. I'm not dunking on you, Dustin. But the daytime shows have all resumed. A lot of them have resumed production. And Drew Barrymore, that was like last week. They're going to be. What's going to happen?
The way to get back to work is pressure the suits to give the writers what they want. You guys are the most self-absorbed fucking assholes I've ever seen. I honestly, at this point, think you deserve what you get. I was on your side for like 90% of it. Now I'm just like, fuck you, because you're being a bunch of assholes. I'm sorry, but you are. I understand there's some things that you needed, and they offered you most of them. At this point, you're so self-absorbed. It's ridiculous. I would tell people not even to watch these shows anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this person, Scab. Writers and actors aren't the only ones having issues. Bottom line, workers, too. They're losing their jobs and homes due to the strike, which will mostly benefit writers and actors, not them. Think twice before commenting.
They don't care. I said, reading comprehension, which is really sad. I'm a writer and an author and a reader for a living, but I don't understand how to comprehend. No, you talk around it, is what you're doing. You are just deliberately like going, oh, you're rich. You have more money than you're richer than I am. Yeah, but you know what? You're a fucking hell of a lot richer than a lot of these other people. And you're doing the exact same thing you're accusing him of doing. It's okay when you do it, I guess?
Yeah, it's basically, like I said, it's basically...
That's people are turning against you. This is why.
It's rich people eating each other is what this is. And it's so funny that they've got
I don't think writers are all rich.
No.
I think that,
comparatively speaking to the below-the-line workers, they absolutely are.
Comparatively speaking, most people live in L.A.
Yeah.
I mean, all these people in LA get all of them are rich celebrities. Right, I get that. But you know what? There are a lot of people, your demands are so out of touch with the rest of the world. It's ridiculous. And then you're sitting there like, first world problems. I don't think that, $8,000-$9,000 a week is enough money for me.
Matt, you love your writers. You said they aren't owed a living wage. Also, the show has disappointed forever. Thor Odinson, they turned down $11,000 a week. They can get fucked and learn the code. Or they can be paid fairly.
Paid fairly.
$11,000 a week isn't fair.
Hear me out, Matt.
What?
You have a bunch of writers writing shows that are failing every other week because they're shit shows with shit writing, and you're too busy pushing narrative. Even the stuff they keep trying to bring back, you guys keep trying to make it, your own image, your own OCs. It is not even honoring the originals, and then it's shit. Musical episodes of Star Trek. I mean, come on. You guys are just like, look, we're so clever. We're so fun. Look at us. Let's all get together because we can work out we work out our problems in our writers' room session. You get paid how much a week to sit there and work out your damn problems? Because you're not doing good shows. I mean, there are some good shows. And those shows, definitely people deserve to get bonuses for those shows because they're doing really well. And you guys should definitely get paid for that. 100% agree with you. 1,000% agree with you. But I also think that for every good show, there's 100 shit shows with a bunch of people just sitting there making it about politics and agenda, and as no one watches it because they're so tired of it. They want to watch good shows be entertained. You're not entertaining. You're boring as fuck. Your shows suck ass, and you think you should be paid for it. No! I'm sorry.
No, that's how I feel. I'm screaming on the inside. I'm internally screaming.
It's bullshit. And I mean, I agree that the studios and the rich people, that are like Bill Maher, that's different because they have a lot of money. It's not impacting them. And I know there's a lot of writers who don't get paid that much, that are the lower ones. Same with actors. The celebrities that you only hear about, the A-listers, and all the people that are actually going to be impacted by the strike, while the other people get to go off and do extra, movies and shows with special permission and get to keep working. There are a lot of people who don't get to work. But beyond that, there's a lot of people that you are impacting and you want them to stand with you for your strike. But they don't get what you get paid.
This guy, Tyler, case in point, I got temporarily laid off last week due to the strike. I'm part of the industry, but I don't even make films or content. I repair power equipment at rental houses. I'm sure there are other external industries that are affected the same way, like caterers, drivers, locations, travel, etc., like the donut makers we talked about that relied on the workers of film sets being customers themselves. They're no longer able to be customers and clients. Productions can somehow keep going while writers for the real creative work can keep striking and fighting for what they deserve. That'd be great. Hurt only the producers that owe, not the people that support the film and TV industries. And they're like, first they came for the writers and I did nothing. Then they came for the caterers and drivers. I'm like, what the?
That's how self-absorbed these little fuckers are.
That's why
I don't care. I don't care what you do. Not hire me to be a writer on your show. I don't fucking care. You are so self-absorbed.
Wish they
it is
came
ridiculous.
for you sooner.
Even when people say, "Hey, what about these other people?" You find a way to talk over it and make it about you. Maybe not everything is fucking about you.
So I'm sorry,
Mom, for this video, but no, I'm not.
I thought that unions were supposed to be for the people. I mean, if you were really that...
people that pay dues and they cover.
I mean, this is ridiculous.
They don't care about anybody else. As long as they get what they get theirs.
I mean, I've got more respect for Steve Amell and Zach Levi because they were making comments when they were doing the circuit at the conventions. They were making comments like, we think it's kind of stupid. We can't talk about the shows and you guys spent money to come here to see us for us to talk about the shows. But then Stephen Amell's even like, I had a lot of people working on my show, my new show, and I can't even promote it. I can't talk about it. That's stupid. And I think the only reason he started, I think he probably got a late night phone call from Fran Drescher, but the only reason he was out there picketing was because he got dogpiled. But he's probably like, God, this is stupid. And I'm telling you, there are so many people that are going to quit the union after this.
Well, I mean, this is a writer's union. This isn't even the actor, SAG actor, where they're telling people you can't even, oh my God, if you're an influencer, you can't even talk about films, or you're, that whole blackmail tactic they pulled. This is about WGA. You're not even hearing anything about the SAG after that much. But
no,
WGA,
they're kind of like, not
everybody
even.
Thinks they're tired of your shit. Because even without, even if it wasn't true about what AmpTip offered you, say that wasn't true. They made that up. The numbers for what you get paid has already been out there. What you're currently getting paid. So people already don't feel bad for you based on that alone. Let alone if you were offering raises and stuff like that. And the things people do agree with you on, like, oh, okay, you did a hit show, you should get paid more. Well, yes, of course you should. Residuals need fixed. Yes, of course they should. Transparency from the studios about what numbers for shows. 100% agree with you. AI limited. Yes, totally, because it was replacing jobs. I agree with you on all that. But you keep wanting to mandate one thing, and you all want to keep working when there's not enough room for all of you. But if it was any other industry, you'd be like, well, if everybody else is striking, keeping you out of work, you'd be like, oh, you know what? Just agree to this thing because we can get back to work because I'm losing my house. But when you only care about yourself. You only, and you keep proving this with these comments over and over and over again. This is why people are turning against you. You clearly only give a shit about yourselves. No one writes my stuff.
Nobody writes.
Clearly.
Nobody writes Geeky's rants. So this is interesting. This guy's like, with what's happening in Drew Barrymore, expect a picket line. And this guy, Richard's like, hey, is The View being picketed? No, apparently it isn't. And The View resumed filming like before Drew Barrymore and before.
They had two WGA writers on staff that just kind of stepped over them.
Interesting that The View's not being picketed. So here's the NPR thing.
I'm sorry. Yeah, more.
No.
Apologies.
That's okay. There's not much. Oh my God. NPR is begging us for money. I get there. Please donate. But they're like, recently, the good people, late night talk show hosts Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, John Oliver, and Seth Meyers launched their podcast Strike Force 5.
The hell out of them because it was, they're not funny normally.
What is it, like the fucking Power Rangers?
Maybe they'll get together. They'll have one funny joke.
Yeah, I know, right? Go, rich white man power. So they're gonna try to support the staff, which I agree with that 100%. If people are put out of work and it had nothing to do with them, and you have the means and you can help your staff get through it. And he said he has. I mean, if you can help bankroll your staff, but it gets to a point where it is just a pissing match now between these writers.
Well, that's all it is. They all are out there trying to do whatever they can to keep people that, you know, are not impacted but are getting impacted, that aren't part of the strike but are getting horribly impacted by the strike paid, because they have nothing in it and they're being punished too.
Oh, this is interesting. I didn't catch this. Maher has spoken out against the strike previously, calling the WGA's demands kooky on his podcast. What I find objectionable about the philosophy of this strike is it seems to be they have morphed a long way from the 2007 strike, where they kind of believe you're owed a living as a writer, and you're not. You're not owed a living.
Yeah, exactly. No one's owed a living, honestly.
No. And guess what? A lot of people are going to have to change careers. They're going to have to move out of L.A. You probably should move out of L.A. It's not a very nice place to live now, as I understand.
Well, apparently you have to make like $9,000, $10,000 a week.
A week?
Just to live there.
And to get your
I don't know how everybody else isn't just living out there.
To get toothpaste and soap at Target, I guess you got to ask for them to go. They're freaking locked down like damn video games and cell phones. Like, you got to get into the case and get your toothpaste out, because somebody's going to steal it. If they steal it, they don't get punished for it.
That's okay. Now they're going to let them all have unemployment too by choosing to strike.
Oh my God. Now is a great time to just relocate to Texas and work with.
I don't think they want people anymore. I think the other states are like, nope, stop coming here.
Please don't come. Please don't come. All right, we're going to wrap this up.
Yep.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.